Good morning once again from Raymer Woodyard. We are out of the country club. We have a trailer full of logs, mostly white oak, some hickory in there. I'm going to mix the hickory in. I've got like the last little bit of row that I've stacked here is hickory. So I'm going to continue doing some hickory, and then I'm going to finish off with the white oak, finish off this row, and then we will start a whole nother row. I've already started a row of maple, but I don't have a whole lot of maple available right now. So I'll just have to continue stockpiling some oak, possibly some hickory. So this is what we got going on. This is probably about a half of a full cord. Anytime I fill this up, mostly full, the trailer, the 5x10 trailer, it's about a half of a full cord. That's what I found out. I'm gonna stack it after this, so it takes me a while to process everything because I split it, and then about as much as I can split and keep it on the table here, I go ahead and turn everything off, and then I stack it. I keep my log pile, my firewood pile here pretty close to me, so it makes it pretty convenient. If I would have done this better, if I would have thought about this more, I would have backed the trailer up on the opposite side of the log splitter, is what I would have done. And then I would have had this area right here, to just reach and grab right here. So now this is kind of like the working side, so now I've got to go on the other side and grab the logs and stack them here, or either stack them behind me and then go this direction. So not a whole lot of thought involved in that, obviously. That's why I have it backwards like this. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, show you a little bit of splitting, a little bit of stacking, and we'll go from there. Hickory stringy. Most hickory is. There you go. Working on the white oak now. good opportunity for me to try out the 4-way wedge. And the small stuff, it works pretty good. It kind of shears the wood instead of breaks it off, kind of cleaner. So I was trying out the 4-way wedge here. I've been using the single wedge for the most part. I use this 95% of the time, the single wedge. It's just a cleaner split for me. So when I use the 4-way wedge on little stuff like this is perfect. This might be 5 inches in diameter maybe. This is a perfect size for it. Put it right in the center there of the wedge and it just splits it in perfect little pieces like this. This might be actually too small for some of y'all. But works pretty good. And so that's why I brought out the 4-way wedge. It does, however, accumulate a lot of debris because it kind of shears some of the wood instead of splitting it more precisely. It works pretty good. It's definitely quicker. I wanted to show y'all that morning sun, and it's only 9:45 in the morning right now. It's already hitting my wood. That's the fresh splits of the hickory right there. Already hitting it this morning, and I love to see that. Some more of the sun and wind can hit it, the quicker it's gonna dry. If I can see that or not, but you see those pines just right there. They look like they're about 10 to 15-year-old pines right there. They're only maybe 25 feet tall. 25 feet, no, I would say 25 to 30 feet tall, something like that. So the higher these things grow, the less that sun's gonna be able to hit my wood. But for right now, this is great. Look at all this sun on my Woodyard. I love it. Love the sun, thank you, Lord. The wind is great out here also. Great stuff. All right, I'm gonna show you the difference between the 4-way wedge and the single wedge. Show you the difference. Similar size wood. This size wood. And we are done. The 17RS did an amazing job. I used the 4-way wedge a little bit on the smaller rounds that I had, white oak rounds. Done cleaning up. Looks halfway decent around here. Gonna make some mesa stove, tiny little baby firewood pieces, no more than 4 inches long out of there. So that is going to be a lot of bucking there. But I'm done with all the stacking, splitting, stacking, all that good stuff. So there it is, the finished product. started with hickory and ended up with white oak. As you can tell, the splits are a little larger. Maybe you can. Just trying that out. And if a year they are not seasoned or dry, then I'm not gonna do that again, because I wanna make sure that I can turn it around in a year. It gets a ton of sun and wind out here, shouldn't have a problem. Let's see where the old pallets were. There's nothing but mud right there. I don't know if I need to put some seed out, or eventually the weeds will just take over. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, thank y'all for joining me today. It's been a real fun time out here. Great time. And remember, it's Raymer wood. Ooh. Ooh. And it's just the right size.